Checked out some new metal as I got rolling this morning. Not like Korn, not new metal, but new metal. Lorna Shore dropping a new track today called Oblivion. It was pretty good. Sounds like Lorna Shore. I'll admit I was hoping for, some kind of a surprise, something that would mix it up a bit, maybe some clean vocals, or a big hook. It's just an outright, assault on your ears in a good way. Very heavy song, very fast, very crazy. But I probably need to give it a few more listens as it did not just blow my mind. So check that out again. I'll get a copy. We'll play it on the show. It sounded like it had a bunch of bad language in it, but, I could have just been hearing things. I wasn't listening intently. Speaking of other new music that I'm going to admit didn't totally blow my mind, let's talk a little bit about Sleep Token. Okay, the new album, I do like it. I don't want you Sleep Token fans getting crazy at me here because I am one of you. I am a hardcore Sleep Token fan. Best show I saw last year, Sleep Token in Boston. No question. Album of the year, 2023, Take Me Back to Eden. I like the new album. But parts of it are just kind of meh to me. There are some songs on it that are really good. Other songs I'm just kind of like, all right. So I'm one of those Sleep Token fans that I would love it if they had something else coming as a surprise. Not because I'm disappointed, just because I'm greedy and I want more. And the band's teasing something. We talked about this a few days ago. They had this countdown timer. And now they've got something going on saying, the battle continues. Now, I have a theory on what all of these images of battles and things like that are that have been popping up in the videos for their latest singles. I think this battle has to do with Vessel's battle with fame, okay? Read into the lyrics of the album. Definitely struggling a little bit on the fame front, as I would imagine anyone would. You're not going to really know what that's like until all of a sudden you're one of the biggest rock bands in the world. And with these guys, they blew up so fast, not a lot of preparation for that. So it's got to be stressful. So that's what I think this battle is all about. And when they say the battle continues, I think it's relating to my prediction earlier in the week that the band is going to be announcing a European tour. Okay, there's been a countdown that was directed at people in Germany, Austria, and somewhere else. Isn't it obvious? I don't know where people get the new music theory from. Is this potentially a double album? They've got lyrics on Apple Music and Spotify with punctuation errors and things like that. Look through lyrics from other bands. This happens on Spotify and Apple. I don't know if this is intentional, but my guess still remains just this simply being a European tour announcement. People get really excited about things, but how many times have we seen a band pumping up, oh, big thing coming, countdown, all right. And then it ends up being a merch drop. What if that's what this is? A merch drop. Overpriced merch that's only available to people in Germany, Austria, etc. We'll find out. I don't know when that countdown timer was going to end. And again, it was something that you could only see in other countries. So I'm not seeing any updates on the Sleep Token subreddit, but as I get more news, I'll let you know. I hope it's something exciting. I've seen bands do this enough times that where they just barely dropped an album. I can't imagine that so quick they'd get back to suddenly dropping new music. It's got to be tour dates. If it's a merch drop, that would be really sad. Yeah. Then the fans might actually lose their minds. I'm sure plenty will still get upset that they thought there was a double album coming and it ends up just being a tour announcement. But, there are people in other places aside from the U.S. The band does need to go play some shows for them. So that's my prediction. We'll see how it goes. Now, let's take a quick break. We'll get pumped to bring you some more content, all right? Hang on. Let's talk a little bit about advertising. When I first got started in radio, the most popular complaint about radio was, oh, it's got ads. Too many ads. And this was during a time of transition where you started seeing other entertainment options pop up where you could check out music without ads. Like back in the day when YouTube was new, I don't remember there being ads. That became a thing fairly quickly, obviously. But it's not anything like today, where you're just relentlessly pummeled with ads unless you pay for YouTube Premium, which I do not. And there are other platforms which I do pay for, and I still get ads. Things like Spotify, all right? I use Spotify as a tool. It's simply easy to look up new music on it, check it out, and go, okay, should we play any of these new songs on the radio? Rather than me download them, unzip the file. The radio industry sometimes doesn't make getting the songs very easy. It's kind of ridiculous with how easy it is to get music, how hard it is sometimes for me to get my hands on a file. But anyway, I've seen an increase across all platforms with advertising in recent years because it's tough for them to make money. You'd think with the just teeny tiny royalties that these companies are paying to artists, they could afford to maybe tone down the advertising. But, if you listen to podcasts on Spotify, you can have their most premium subscription. It doesn't matter. You will still be pummeled with ads. I mean, at the beginning of a recent last podcast episode I was checking out, I think there was 5 minutes of ads at the beginning at least. Anyway, Netflix adding more ads in 2026. I think we're just going to keep seeing this with all platforms. My biggest prediction has been ads on Spotify, even with a premium account. Ads during music, I should say. Because you will get those ads again during podcasts and things like that. And they're inserted ads. Basically the same as radio, where they got a commercial stop set that gets triggered. Netflix is going to be adding generative AI ads that are interactive and will start popping up in the middle of programs. So if it's anything like YouTube, what can you expect commercials every 5 minutes? I love YouTube, but man, watching it on a TV, it is so annoying. The ads they pummel you with. And yeah, you can skip some of them for now. I bet that goes away too. Because why, as an advertiser, would you pay who knows how much money to have an ad that in 5 seconds of its starting can be skipped? I've never understood that one. Because who isn't skipping the ads when they give you the option? All right? You skip the ads, right? Unless you're only half paying attention, oh, it's a good time to go to the bathroom. I guess I'll be back. And then you let the ads just run. So anyway, interactive, generative AI ads. And people love AI. Well, a lot of people do, but a lot of people really hate it. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see in the next few years, what kind of advertising is pummeling us across every imaginable platform. So it has been good for radio. People don't complain about radio ads anymore. I mean, we only give you ads every half hour. Half hour. We're not like the big market radio stations where you get a half hour of ads every hour. All right, let's take a look at some radio-related news. And it won't be that boring. Come on. I know I complain about radio a lot, but I'm not going to do that right now. Instead, I'm going to complain about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, haven't complained about that in a while. So I was reading an article from Jacobs Media where they were talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's most egregious snub yet. Now, we all know the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should be called the Music Hall of Fame. You know, they've got a lot of different pop artists and things in there. And then there are tons of bands, rock bands, that you would think, okay, no brainer, put them in. Like Soundgarden, for example, or Alice in Chains. You know, I'm sorry, we got to make sure we get, I don't know, I can't think of an example of a pop artist. But yeah, who could be more egregious to snub than Soundgarden? Well, apparently, comedian John Mulaney says, Weird Al Yankovic. And I think I would have to agree. Weird Al definitely rocks. Now, not every song he puts out is just a straight-up rock song, but Weird Al rocks. And I'll bet Weird Al has introduced more young people to new music than pretty much any other artist out there, right? Because he'll do these fun covers of so many different genres of music, and he's just such a good dude on top of that. Who doesn't love Weird Al? Who is, by the way, going to be in Idaho Falls later this year. I have got to go to the show. When is that show? Hang on here. Hang on. There are so many shows coming to the area that I can't really keep track, which is not a bad problem to have. All right, let's see here. Events upcoming. I mean, it's got to be somewhat soon, right? No, not till August. August 8th. Weird Al. And last I checked, they were basically out of tickets, so I should probably get on picking up some of those. Yeah. Because I ain't going to miss Weird Al. No way. I have been a Weird Al fan since I was a little kid. Yeah, there's only a handful of tickets left. I better get on this. Anyway, yeah, what's up, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Why not Weird Al? He's put out a few original songs, for the most part covers, but I mean, Weird Al just brings such joy to everyone. So many bands have said they felt like they made it after Weird Al did a parody of their song, like Nirvana. Like, holy cow, we made it. Weird Al covered, Smells Like Teen Spirit. This is crazy. Anyway, I don't have a lot of hope for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame quickly getting to giving, accolades to people like Weird Al or Soundgarden, but I'm sure they will eventually. And I'd still go check out the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, even if, every year when they do their announcements, it's like, oh, okay. Woohoo! It's never exciting. But yeah, go see Weird Al live in Idaho Falls. That'll be a lot of fun. There are still a handful of tickets available, but you better get on it. It's a Friday night, too, October 8th. Mountain America Center. Should be sweet. Jack Black and I Feel Alive from the Minecraft movie. Still need to check that out. I think it's available on demand now. Not sure if it's on any streaming platform where you can watch it with subscription, but I think you can rent it from home. I don't know, though. I might feel weird sitting around watching the Minecraft movie without my kids around. I got plenty of other stuff to watch. Black Mirror and all these depressing shows that I've got lined up in the queue that I just can't bring myself to watch recently. Almost went for Requiem for a Dream again, but watched about 2 minutes and was like, nah, not mentally there. Sucks. I like depressing movies, but I got to be in the right, frame of mind to deal with that, and apparently I'm not. All right, as I was scrolling Facebook this morning, I keep seeing images and video pop up of this Nottoway Plantation in Louisiana burning to the ground. Guess this happened yesterday. According to one of the articles I was reading, this was the largest remaining antebellum mansion in the South. All right, these type of, locations are so weird to me. I can understand, having them so that people can visit them like a museum and we can have discussions about history and things like that. The Nottoway mansion was built by slaves. You know, it's like 53,000 square feet. It's just ridiculously grandiose. And I don't think it was used as a museum. It was used as an event center and resort. Very popular place for weddings. And that is just so weird to me. Why would you want to get married at a plantation? You know, that with this just horrible history. Why on earth would you want your big special day with that special someone to be held at a plantation? Now I get, okay, the house is fancy. The grounds are really nice. But that is just so crazy to me. So weird. And they called it a resort in an article I was looking at here. So I would assume people like vacation there. Hey, guys, let's go crash out at the plantation. Oh, I don't know. To me, it's like staying in, I don't know, a house where there were, you know, horrific murders or something like that. It just doesn't sound great to me. So anyway, looks like they're planning on rebuilding it. All right, well, make it into a museum, okay? Make it an educational tool. I mean, I guess these people that own these places have to make some money somehow, but you would think if it's the biggest antebellum mansion in the South, people would come visit. You know, they want to see the local attractions. I don't know, just throwing it out there for, hey, come have a sleepover or a wedding. Just seems weird. Anyway, so that's what's in the news today in fire news. We'll be back in a minute. I haven't been to the movies in a long time. I think I might have to go this weekend. I got to go check out some awesome horror in the theater. I need to go see the new Final Destination movie. Now, I didn't have a lot of hope for this movie. I don't know if you've seen the entire series of the Final Destination movies. First one's, you know, decent. Second one, I think a pretty well-renowned and beloved horror movie. And then after that, they go downhill pretty fast. But Final Destination 2, definitely one of my favorite horror movies. It's just so fun. I love the over-the-top death. You know, that's what Final Destination was all about. Very creative and fun death scenes. The type that when you're in the theater, they catch you by surprise and you cheer. You know, it's not very often you're going to be cheering for death. But it's perfectly appropriate at a Final Destination movie. And it's got great reviews so far on Rotten Tomatoes, the new movie Final Destination Bloodlines. I just pulled up a random review here. It says brutal, bonkers, and brilliant. Sort of. All right, I mean, we're not expecting perfection here from Final Destination. But they said here, it's a popcorn-drenched, viscera-slicked ballet of doom that remembers exactly why you fell in love with the franchise in the first place. That's all I need to hear to go check out this movie. All right? So, they say after a 14-year hiatus, Final Destination Bloodlines doesn't just dust off the old playbook, it sets it on fire, dances on the ashes, and serves up a glossy, gory, generational curse with a side of stylish mayhem. And then they start getting into, you know, what the movie's about, and I don't want to know. But that's fun and exciting, because I did rewatch again the entire series a while back, and it was, you know, okay. It was okay. But from movie 3 onward, I mean, it plummeted downhill very quickly after that second movie. So maybe I'll go to the movies this weekend. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of time. We're very busy this weekend, as I mentioned earlier, but still, I'm going to have to check this out. And I think theater is where it's at. All right. Apparently, it's not only the sleep token camp with a bunch of rumors flying around. Let's talk about Rockstar Games. You know, they've definitely been in the news a bit with the second trailer for GTA 6 dropping last week. It was last week, right? Maybe the week before? Doesn't matter. It's awesome. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. So, just yesterday I was seeing, that release date of May 26th of next year. That still might not happen, blah, blah, blah. Well, Rockstar and Take-Two Games put out some more information on GTA 6. Said it has cost over $1 billion to produce this game. Has been in development since 2018 and in full production since 2020. They're expecting the game to exceed players' expectations and are absolutely confident about the May 26, 2026 release date. So try to stay optimistic and hopeful, people. I know with the current state of the world and the constant disappointments that seem to come your way the older you get, it's easy to be a naysayer. But I'm telling you, it's better for your brain to stay optimistic. So I'm hopeful of a May 26 release date. And as for it exceeding players' expectations, I'm very confident in that one. Red Dead 2 certainly exceeded my expectations. I was playing it last night because apparently I'm a loser who can't do anything except play Red Dead when I have all kinds of other things I could be doing with my time, like cleaning up the cat treat mess that little Lucy made in the middle of the night a couple nights ago. Have I busted out the vacuum? No, I have not. Okay, in other Rockstar rumors, because not just GTA 6, talking about Red Dead. Rumors of a Red Dead Redemption 2 PS5 version swirling again. I also saw rumors of Max Payne coming back. Rumors of Red Dead 2 on the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, I hope these rumors are true, because I have Red Dead 2 on my PC, and it's amazing. It's so amazing. The graphics, are just mind-boggling. But I much prefer sitting in front of my TV playing Red Dead than my computer. So this would be great, so I can sit in front of my TV, start the game over again, and waste even more of my life. All right? It brings me a little bit of joy. It's very soothing when I'm feeling down or anxious, stressed out, frustrated, whatever. Any kind of a negative mood, fire up Red Dead. And I do it when I'm in a good mood too, okay? It's not like, dude, you play it all the time. Are you just constantly depressed? No, I'm, only sometimes depressed. If you're constantly depressed, you got to get in and get some therapy or something like that. Anyway, exciting news if you're a fan of Rockstar Games in general. I'd be stoked to see, again, PS5 version of Red Dead 2. And I am looking forward to nothing in entertainment more than GTA 6. I wish we didn't have to wait a year, but, as you get older, those years just start flying by. Gonna be dead before I know it. Okay, sorry. That's just what happens when you get older. Eventually, it's coming for all of us. I am in a good mood today, by the way. I don't want to throw people off here. I've had 2 nights of decent sleep in a row, and that never happens, so it might get weird around here. All right? We'll be back in a few with freak news and more. Don't go anywhere. Where to begin with freak news? I guess we'll talk about burning the biscuits. Don't do it. At least, not if you have a psychotic manager at the Popeyes restaurant you work at. Yeah, this guy shot his coworker over burnt biscuits. Yeah, you might have a bad boss, but when's the last time you screwed up a little bit and they just shot you? Jeez. Well, shot him twice at point blank range, and this is not cool. He shot him in the groin. Come on. you're going to shoot your coworker over burnt biscuits, why not like the foot or something like that? You don't deserve to be shot in the groin over burnt biscuits. Messed up. I think he's going to be okay. They did say he was in life-threatening condition with critical injuries, but yeah, the article's a few days old with no updates about the person passing away. Geez, just burnt biscuits. All right, well, only type of assault I have to worry from Jade, it's more gas than physical. Sometimes it feels like I get punched in the face by him when he drops one of those bombs in the studio, but no, it hasn't literally happened, so we're okay. All right, let's talk about the woes of Ju Eisen. She's a 39-year-old Instagram influencer. She's got it so rough. She's like, I can only fly first class now. Not because of her money. She's like, I'm so hot. Men in economy won't stop staring at me. But the dudes in first class ain't staring at you as well? Come on now. All right, I'm looking at a picture of her here. She's, I don't know, your average Instagram influencer. I don't think she's so hot that you just couldn't stop staring when you're on an airplane. Dudes, don't just stare at people, okay? Even if you're like, wow, oh my gosh, look at her. Oh! You can't just stare, okay? I think it's very easy for guys to give women the creeps. And even if they do their best to not be a weirdo, like, you never know. Some dumb little thing you've done, they could be like, that guy's a creep. If you're just staring at them, that'll make them uncomfortable, okay? And then they end up having to fly first class every time. Oh. All right. Good for her. Not a problem I got to deal with. If people are staring at me, I just assume they're like, that guy's weird looking, or they recognize me. One or the other. They could recognize me, be like, oh, that guy's weird looking. Victor Wilt. What's up with that guy? Wouldn't surprise me at all. Okay, what else do we have here? There are so many airplane-related issues going on. I haven't really dove into this, but I'm glad I don't have any flights booked right now. You may have heard about the problems at the Newark airport. Like, they need to hire some people. We're having major problems with planes being able to contact air traffic control. At the Denver airport yesterday, 20 pilots were unable to reach air traffic control for 6 minutes while trying to land. And I think some of my family members, my brother, sister, and aunt, might be flying through Denver here in like 2 weeks to come visit. I hope not. Jeez. Can we get this under control? Oh, it just sucks that everything is melting down. Should be able to take a flight. We went like 15 years with no like air crashes in the US or something like that. No major incidents. A very long time. Now it's like every single day, plane crashes, pilots can't contact the airport. It's frightening. Let's get that fixed. And finally, here's a sad one for you dudes. Men die of a broken heart more often than women. Yeah, you can die of a broken heart. They call it broken heart syndrome. The technical term for it is Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. Whew, that was fun to try to say. Should have practiced that. Also known as broken heart syndrome, is brought on by physical or emotional stress and can affect people suffering from a traumatic event like the death of a loved one or divorce. If you go through a traumatic event, please talk to people. Get some help. You know how crushing being depressed can be? Like there's a black cloud hanging over everything. You can physically feel it. Yeah, might kill you dead. Okay? Get some help. Especially if you're a dude. And dudes don't like to get help. They're dumb. I'm one of you. Oh, I'm not feeling well. It'll be fine. No, go talk with your doc. All right? If you got any issues going on, just get them checked. Just get it checked out. because you never know what might be going on. And again, if you're dealing with a broken heart, you got to call some friends, some homies, or a hotline or something. That's a just terribly sad way to go. Ugh. All right, anyway, just keeping it bright at the end of Freak News. Don't worry, I got more fun stories. I just started getting pummeled by plane crashes and dudes dying. So I figured I'd share it with you, because I'm fun like that. All right. We'll lighten things up. Welcome to the show, Peaches. What's up, dude?
Welcome to the Peach Field. Happy Friday.
Peach Field. All right, well.
Dude, how many sparkling waters do you want?
Well, see, what happens here is I'll bring in usually like 2, and then I'll drink 1, and I'll leave 1. And then the next day, I bring in 2, drink 1, leave 1. And so now I've got a stockpile. I'm up to 3 cans there.
We just need a mini fridge in here.
Mini fridge would be okay. I mean, this room stays pretty cold, so that's why I keep them in here. My office is like a sauna.
Oh,
so
don't get me started on the Cannonball Studio. I hate that place.
Cannonball Studio's a cooker. I've been in there many times. That used to be the production studio. When I was the production assistant, I'd sit in there and roast.
The worst was the East Idaho News bathroom.
Well, you told me about the East Idaho News bathroom the other day. What was going on over there?
The heater was on full blast, and I'm sitting there like, I feel like I'm in a sauna.
Ugh. I think that was the day after the Doug Stanhope show that was going on, and I was like all tired and disheveled and feeling terrible. I was so glad you warned me to not go down there, because there's nothing worse than when you're a little bit out of whack, being just cooked in a hot room.
Part of me really wanted to just not flush and just walk out. And just have the heater on full blast.
That's messed up, Peaches.
So they walk in, whoa!
That's messed up and disgusting. Disgusting. It's funny that the minute everyone starts walking in at 8, Katie bursts in the room all excited. I told you! We've been arguing about this for 2 days now here in the building. What's going on with Sleep Token? And that was actually my first break of the show today, was talking about the new Sleep Token rumors because of that image, the battle must continue or whatever, that popped up.
And to me, I see where both of you guys are coming from. I mostly think you're right, though, that it is going to be just some European tour after seeing it was only available, the countdown clock was only available in Germany, Austria, other countries over there, and they don't have any European dates.
Exactly. It's got to be tour dates. I just can't imagine when they dropped an album a week ago, all of a sudden they're going to put out more new music. It just doesn't make sense.
Like Silverstein, they're dropping 2 albums this year, but like they announced them together and they're coming out way different dates, like way long after the other one.
Yeah.
Like the first one came out in February, the second one comes out in September, I think.
Yeah, I just think that they, need to continue riding the wave of trying to promote this new album for right now. I can't imagine them moving on to something else. And I follow the Sleep Token groups and subreddits. So even though I'm not a guy who sits there and listens to lyrics a lot, I've seen the very, very in-depth analysis of the lyrics on this new album. And a lot of it seems to be about the band's struggles with all of a sudden being massively successful. So what type of battle could there be for Sleep Token? Oh, we gotta play more shows and make more millions of dollars.
Dude, they have takeover. I talked about this on the show yesterday. They have taken over HotTopic.com.
Have they?
Oh, every single metal t-shirt, Sleep Token. First, 6 rows. Whole bunch of different shirts. There's one for each song on the new album. It's crazy.
Well, it's kind of like when Ghost blew up. Ghost had cool merch. Sleep Token's merch is pretty cool. And if you can get fans to buy merch, I don't blame these bands for putting out 10 billion pieces of merch and trying to make as much money as possible. I do get annoyed when, I'll admit, I talked about the Sleep Token album earlier. I like it. I'm a huge Sleep Token fan. You know that.
Yeah, of course.
But I would call it an okay album.
That was a album.
There are some songs on it. Excellent songs. There's other songs that are meh. So it's no Take Me Back to Eden. And I know that will make some Sleep Token fans mad, But again, I've listened to it a lot of times now, and it's just kind of okay. And I get a little annoyed with the, Fame's so rough. I don't know. I'm sure Fame is rough.
You've never been famous.
I've never been famous. But
to that level, no.
You know, when you got people struggling to buy groceries and put a roof over their heads, you don't want to see your favorite artist whining about how rough it is to be making millions of dollars.
Could you imagine, though, like, you have to go somewhere new, hide who you are, put on the paint, put on the costume, go on stage, bake on the stage with the lights on you, and then, like, everyone expects it to be, like, an A-plus performance.
And they put on an A-plus performance. And those guys, they don't have to deal with fame like somebody like Leonardo DiCaprio. Because people don't know what they look like. You know? You're not going to know if Sleep Token was walking around town.
They also have to travel to all these different places, like, once, like, per day. They're in a new city.
Yeah.
I could see it. They're cooped up on a bus.
Dude, being on a tour, being in a band, it's not all fun and games and yay. It's a rough life.
How much black paint do those guys go through?
A lot. But still, that'd be like me just crying about, I have to sit in this nice box and talk to everybody. I've got it so rough. Oh.
No, I cry have to deal with Jade.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that, Peaches. There are people out there roofing and things like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
K-Bear, you're live on the show. Keep that in mind. Who's this?
This is Gary.
Gary.
How are we doing today?
Doing great. What's up, man?
You know what? For once, I agree with you about Sleep Token. We should just never have to listen to them again because they're whining too much.
Now, listen, we're going to listen to them all the time because they're the biggest band in rock. I still love that band, but
I forgive you for that, too.
It must come from back when I was a teenager. You know, I was in the metal scene, and then there was Jade in the emo scene. And the whiny emo songs, I just couldn't stand them when I was a kid. I'm like, stop crying.
Well, there's different levels, Victor, from Jade's band to Sleep Token. That's like comparing me to LeBron James when it comes to basketball.
Okay, who's a massive whiny emo band? Just name one.
I mean, there's My Chemical Romance. There's
okay. All right. You know,
Hot Mulligan sound. It sounds pretty whiny.
Yeah, like Dashboard Confessional. Mm-hmm. All right. I just, as a teenager, that was not my type of jam. I don't want to hear dudes whining when I was a teenager. All right. And I get it. We all got things we go through that are rough, Peaches. We all have feelings. You know, I'm a sensitive boy, but I ain't going to cry about it. Man up. Oh, sorry. Man up, Vessel.
But what if, like, for the next album, they're like, that's it. Like, we're going to go back to the whole metal thing, and they just full on.
And it's not a heavy album.
It's not. No.
It's not a heavy album. It's the least
if
metal.
They go full metal again, then, you know, I'll give them a second chance, you know.
I think the album is good. It's not a bad album. It's just not up to par with their other albums, in my opinion. It's still good.
You know, that's okay, but to complain that it's tough, you know, it's just, it is rough. And my wife's a huge fan. I just am not. So I was on par with you guys for a minute. You were like, you know what? I don't know, but you guys have a wonderful day.
Well, and clearly these guys are smarter than me because I've read what all the ladies out there are saying about the lyrics to this new album. They are swooning and so yeah, you know, the emo bands back in the day definitely got a lot more chicks than the metal bands. Okay, all right.
Well,
I'm not saying this isn't a smart move on their part. I just don't personally connect with it like the younger women seem to.
They're making music for the book talk crowd, that's for sure.
There you go.
Well, they're doing better than any of us and all of us together. So
yeah, they're crushing it. They're
what
doing just fine.
What if they come out like a diss album? And they're like, oh, you hate our band? I'm making millions. I could probably take your girl away from you type of thing. Like, what if
then they've turned into Ronnie Radke, another guy who has, you know, I've changed my tune on because he's gotten to be so annoying and just doesn't stop. So,
and I tell you, it's always the small guys.
Small man syndrome, man.
Yeah, Ronnie's about like 5. We stood next to him in Pocatello that one time. He's like 5'6".
He's probably about my height or something like that.
No, he's shorter than you.
You think he was shorter than me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was like, this is it?
Well, Gary, I hope you have an awesome weekend, man.
You know, I'm going to, and you guys do the same. We're going down to Vegas next week and go watch the Hinder Drowning Pool and Saliva for free on Fremont Street. So
I saw that pop up on Facebook. Those free Fremont shows are a lot of fun. Just don't get arrested on Fremont Street. I've heard of it happening to people.
I'm going to do my best.
He looked at me when he said that, Gary. So
maybe there's another story there we need to hear.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday.
All right, gentlemen.
Have a good one, Gary. Peace.
You too.
All right. Now that I've made all of the Sleep Token fans that listen to K-Bear mad, again, it's a good album. It's good. You know,
no, I agree with you. It's not the best, but I mean,
it's like Ghost's new album. It's a good album.
I'm telling you, GTA 6 might be a letdown to some people. I'm telling you, like the way that we all carry GTA 5 and it's taken 12 years for this game to come out, there's going to be people that are going to immediately come out of the woodwork and go, hot take, it's not that great.
Oh, yeah, that'll for sure happen. I'll wait and pass my real judgment on it, but I have been a little bit let down in the last few weeks. Ghost's new album, I don't think is their best. It's good. It's good, but it doesn't compare to some of their other albums.
There's already people saying they don't like the main characters of GTA 6. I gotta play as a woman.
Oh,
no!
Jeez. Oh, no. Have you ever played The Last of Us Part 2? All right?
Yeah, people hate it.
Yeah, idiots hate it. People who don't understand good storytelling. Game's a masterpiece. And you play as a woman the entire game. Multiple women, actually. It's a fantastic game.
Maybe they keep killing the character. Go, take that.
God. Some dudes, man, are just idiots.
What if they have a hat that says, like, keep woman characters out of my game or something like
that?
They
probably will. Probably will.
I just gave them an idea.
These guys have no idea how to pick up chicks. They're just angry, and it's like, no, it's your own fault you can't get a girlfriend because you're acting like a loser.
They're on Reddit, r/advice. Why can't I get a girl?
Yeah, stop listening to Andrew Tate, dude. Maybe try being nice to women.
He's of the past.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Well, who are the other idiots that are influencing young guys?
I don't know.
Well, good. I'm glad you don't know, Peaches, because that means you ain't watching them. Getting bad advice.
Andrew Tate would just pop up with the most out-of-pocket things he would say on my Instagram reels, and I would just share those with my friends. That's about it.
Don't share that content, Peaches.
No,
it's like garbage.
I find it like the Be a Man videos that I send you.
Yeah, but Be a Man's clearly making fun of guys like Andrew Tate. Be a Man is like, what's the word I'm looking for here? Anyway, this has been a long break.
Yeah.
We should probably bail on it. But, yeah.
You got traffic school soon anyway.
I know. It's coming up here in about 20 minutes, so everybody get those questions ready. I'm Viktor Wilt, and I'm here to help. This time to help you ladies. All right. Almost did this break earlier, but we got traffic school started a little bit early. So, we've been giving out a lot of advice recently. Peaches and I digging into the advice subreddit and things like that, and we tend to be throwing advice at the dudes. Every once in a while, got to throw some advice at the ladies. Or at least maybe, because I haven't read through these responses. The thread was, men, what's something women don't realize is a turnoff? And I figured we'd take a look at this. Any appropriate answers for air? And I'd pass my judgment on them, see if I agree. All right, eating all the loaded nachos and leaving only the empty ones, like just chips. All right, it's not the type of response I was expecting, but I probably should have. Yeah, if you're sharing nachos, come on. You got to, this goes for guys and the gals. You got to share the chips with the cheese. Come on. All right, let's see if we get any kind of reasonable responses here. Pretending you are dumb. All right. There's being dumb and then there's pretending you're dumb. Do people really pretend to be dumb? Like, there have been occasions where somebody's asking some kind of a pop culture question, and I'll act like I don't know the answer because I don't want to seem like a nerd or something. I don't know if that's pretending to be dumb, but I'm telling you, at least from my personal experience and inside of my own mind, I like being around smart people. So pretending you are dumb, if I knew you were smart, I'd just be like, why? Why? Because if you were dumb, I try to hang around people who are smarter than me. You know, why? I don't know. I don't want to feel dumb. But you learn a lot from intelligent people. So I think if you were pretending you were dumb, Just the dumb itself would be some kind of a turnoff. Yeah. All right, what else do we have here? I need someone who can handle me. Yeah, that could be a bit of a red flag. You know, it's like, dudes who are like, I can't help it, I just say what I feel. Like, nah, you can hold back. You don't have to spout off with every dumb thing that pops into your head. Take a minute, ponder, and unleash reasonable thoughts. All right? You don't have to say everything that comes to mind. All right. The constant, unending critiques of everything about you, how you dress, what you could be doing better. Yeah, that would be a turnoff. Have you ever had someone who's very critical of you? I have. Been in a relationship where I heard a lot of insults. It doesn't make you feel very good. Why are you with me if you feel that way? What? Yeah, I mean, again, back to you don't have to say everything that comes to mind. If it's an insult, try to not critique your partner's appearance. That's about as rude as it gets. And it's confusing. All right? It leaves that person in a state where they don't know what to think. It's terrible. Pretty much all these so far, this is stuff that goes for guys and girls. All right? Comparing us to an ex in any way. Yeah. See, but I think that goes both ways too. I would think that the ladies would be just as irritated by that as guys. Unless you're like the most confident person ever, I guess. I mean, nobody tends to want to hear about somebody else's ex, right? You don't want to think about that. Let's see, trashing someone else? Your roommate might suck, but if that's all you talk about, if somebody, all they do is trash people, that gets annoying. It's like, do you have anything positive to say? Sure. All right, well, I intended to, give advice to the ladies here, but this is just going at everybody in general. People who say I hate drama and then start drama. Oh, yeah, drama. At what age does drama become like just so stupid? Like, stop. Stop already. I mean, that had to be, you would hope, when you're like a teenager. That's when you should realize, like, this drama's a waste of time. Once you get out of high school, that minute you graduate and realize that all of the high school drama meant absolutely nothing, that's when you should realize, like, oh yeah, there's no reason for this crap. And then when somebody's around who's just endless drama, give them the boot. Get them out of here. All right, refusing to take accountability. Again, these are all things that apply to everybody. So, as is typical on Reddit, often enough, big fail of a thread. We'll be back. Thanks again to Hardy for sending us that action figure of Jim Bob that we got sitting here in the studio. Been getting some weird stuff from various artists. I didn't talk about this on the air, but the other day I'm sitting in my office doing tedious work like I always do. I'm very busy working on the Outlaw radio station and things like that. So just chilling, and Melissa and Maddie from down the hall show up, or it was Melissa and Star maybe. Yeah, I don't remember. My memory. Anyway, they've got this big, huge box. Clearly, a big, heavy box. It's oblong shaped, long rectangle. Like, what on earth could that possibly be? It wasn't like a guitar or something. We've had, guitars delivered, and we've had t-shirts or this and that. Generally, if you get something from a band, it's a t-shirt. This was not that. Obviously, it weighed a ton. So we opened up the box, and it was a present for the country station that, I'm in charge of handling the music on, 105 The Hawk. It was a 105 The Hawk brand. Yeah, like, out on the ranch, big metal stick that you put in fire and, brand animals with. It was that for the Hawk. It had a hawk on the actual brand. This thing was nice, too. Had, the station name on the handle, the call letters. It was awesome. In a big wooden box. Might have been the fanciest thing we've ever got from an artist. Now the only thing is, what do we do with it? We got this brand. I mean, we talked about Fear Factor coming back to TV a few days ago. I think we could really up our promotions game. Now, we don't have a K-Bear brand, but we can brand people with the hawk. What kind of a prize would you have to have up for grabs to be willing to accept being branded with a 105 The Hawk brand? Just we stick it in the hot coals. Ah! I don't think that the company lawyers would allow us to do that type of giveaway, but it's the only place my brain went with what are we going to do with this? I don't have a cow. All right, anyway. Just want to let you know, we're getting weird stuff in the mail. If you have anything weird you need to get rid of, I guess this is a good place for it. The K-Bear Studio. Though I did, give Justin at the Hawk the brand and was like, here you go, buddy. Here's a present. So it lives in the Hawk Studio. Tip, don't anger Justin. Justin, not the guy to mess with. Because even if he doesn't put it in hot coals, that thing, you want to talk about a melee weapon, it's going to do some serious damage. This thing was straight up hardcore metal. The most metal country-related thing I've ever seen. It was awesome. All right, everybody, I guess it's time for me to leave. Time for me to get on out of here, but I'll be back at noon for the noon hour of madness and mayhem. Hope to see you tomorrow at either the Farmer's Market, the Classy Prom, or Sunday at the Seether Show. Busy weekend ahead. So I better get to work on all the other 10 billion things I need to get done. Bye-bye. Thank you again for tuning in to the Victor Welch Show. This program is a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.